Verbal abuse is a silent epidemic that affects countless individuals, often without them even realizing it. This insidious form of emotional abuse can have devastating effects on a person's mental health and well-being. Today, we'll explore how to recognize verbal abuse and what you can do to cope with it. Verbal abuse is a type of emotional abuse where someone uses words to assault, dominate, ridicule, manipulate, or degrade another person. It's a means of controlling and maintaining power over someone else. While many assume verbal abuse is always obvious, involving yelling or name-calling, it can often be much more subtle and difficult to identify. So how can you recognize verbal abuse? There are several signs to watch out for. You might feel afraid of the person, like you're walking on eggshells around them. You may hesitate to share things about yourself for fear of mockery or ridicule. Perhaps you feel constantly put down about your appearance, thoughts, or actions. If you find yourself feeling inferior, ashamed, or threatened in a relationship, these could be indicators of verbal abuse. Verbal abuse can take many forms. It might involve blaming, where the abuser makes you feel responsible for their behavior. Condescension, often disguised as humor or sarcasm, is another common tactic. Constant criticism, gaslighting, public humiliation, and manipulation are all forms of verbal abuse. Even withholding affection or giving the silent treatment can be abusive behaviors. The impact of verbal abuse should not be underestimated. It can lead to anxiety, depression, chronic stress, and decreased self-esteem. Victims often experience feelings of shame, guilt, and hopelessness. In severe cases, verbal abuse can result in post-traumatic stress disorder and social withdrawal. Children who experience verbal abuse may grow up with difficulty trusting others and regulating their emotions. If you recognize verbal abuse in your life, it's crucial to take action. The first step is to acknowledge what's happening. Once you've identified the abuse, try to call out the behavior when it occurs. Set clear boundaries and communicate that the abusive behavior is unacceptable. If possible, limit your exposure to the abusive person and spend time with supportive friends and family. In some cases, ending the relationship may be necessary for your well-being. Before taking this step, it's wise to confide in a trusted friend or family member, or seek the guidance of a counselor. They can help you process your emotions and develop a safety plan if needed. Remember, healing from verbal abuse is possible. Seeking professional help can be invaluable in this process. A therapist can assist you in developing healthy coping skills and working through the effects of the abuse. While the impact of verbal abuse can be significant, there is always hope. By recognizing abuse, setting boundaries, and seeking support, you can begin to heal and build healthier relationships. You deserve to be treated with respect and kindness. Don't let anyone's words diminish your worth or potential. With time, support, and self-compassion, you can overcome the effects of verbal abuse and reclaim your power.